Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gents, and welcome back to AS2 and the Great War Realism mod. Now, the French and Belgian forces conducted an attack on my left flank. Well, actually, they were attacked by the Germans and then conducted a counterattack and took the German lines because there was no Germans left to defend them. And now, being on their right flank, it is our turn to conduct an attack on the British. But I have a feeling that the Germans are going to kind of beat us to it, so we're going to be in a similar situation to the French, in which we're going to defend off attack and then conduct a counter-attack of our own. So this is the British lines. We have 2 lines deep with IDF, artillery, machine guns and infantry. And then a long old way into no man's land. We have the German lines. Again, machine guns, infantry, artillery, and IDF. Now, the problem with my IDF, at least, is I can't reach over this distance. So I can only shoot into no man's land. I can't actually shoot any further than that. Which means that when I do my counterattack, I'm not going to be able to give my troops artillery support unless I actually move my artillery into the field. Now, I don't want to move my artillery into the field because then if my troops lose their momentum, then it's going to be a pain in the arse to get my artillery back. However, if my troops have enough momentum, I'm willing to put my artillery in the field to then support them. Because if I can actually hit their lines with artillery, then yeah, of course, they'll still be able to hit my troops with their artillery and IDF. But if I can hit their lines with my IDF, then I can create gaps within their trench system and within their lines that will enable my guys to push on through and get past them all. So without further ado, let's jump right into the battle. Now, my current issue as the British is I don't actually know when the German attack's coming, so I don't know when I can, like, if I need to counter-attack first. Oh shit, they're here! Oh, Christ on the bike, Christ on the bike. Oh shit, okay. I wasn't expecting that. Bug up. Artillery, start firing. Oh my god, here they come. Here they come, gents. Machine gun, get your ass ready to get in gear, because you're going to have to slay them as best you can. Not that you can really, like, you know, see them very well, but still, slay them as best you can. Oh, wow. That artillery is absolutely mullerizing them. Absolutely mullerizing them. I think needless to say, we can probably hold this attack off. It's not actually that impactful to us. Apart from the fact that they seem to be able to get quite close to us on our right flank by these little bumps and divots and hills and stuff. I still think we can defend them off right though. I think we'll be fine. Look at that, just absolutely getting demolished. I tell you what, if my all a very noisy Western Front video hadn't got me kicked off my network, I'm pretty sure this one would. Because, like, this one is pretty damn horrific. Good news is German forces are retreating already. So my machine guns, IDF and artillery are well and truly pounding away at the enemy. And for some reason, they believe that they've got another chance. So, wave 2, I guess. Not that I think they're going to get very far. Let's see how fast they're dropping. Oh my god. No wonder we had so many millions of troops dying in World War I. I tell you what, whether you die or don't die in this conflict is down to sheer luck. Absolute sheer luck. good news is that they haven't actually come in close enough for us to use our mortars. So that's always a bonus. Have we defeated this wave as well? We have defeated this wave as well. They are retreating well and truly. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, the question is, do we take the initiative right now and go and conduct a counter-attack? Or do we sit here and wait to see if they do another attack? If they don't do another attack, then the time we have waited is the time they will take to fortify their lines. If we do make a counter-attack, it's also a possibility that we might meet the third wave in the field, which is not ideal at all. Now, needless to say, it has become relatively quiet on this western front now. They're still retreating, so I don't think another wave's coming in. There's a fair amount of them retreating though. However, we're still getting contact on the right flanks. They're still pushing. Well, needless to say, I think I lost my chance to counter-attack. Looks like the third wave was coming in after all. I have a feeling though that if I get my rear forces in a position to do so, when these guys retreat, I can actually like push back with them and push those enemy forces all the way back to their own lines, and at the same time push my artillery forward. That's the plan. Whether it works out or not, we'll have to wait and see. Right, they're retreating. Now's the time when we push forward. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's go, everyone. We're moving. So we are pushing the German forces back through no man's land as we push forward. I think our own artillery is hitting us in places though, which is problematic. Yep, our own artillery is hitting us in places. Stop fucking firing! We are well and truly pushing them back. Right, time to get our IDF in the field. So we have made it to the German lines. We have our artillery or our IDF following up in field very quickly to give us as much support as we can. And we are taking the initiative from the enemy. Now is the true test to see whether we can take the initiative that we've already gained and turn it into a victory. That's their AT gone. Wonderful. Keep pounding their lines, boys. Keep pounding the lines. So the right flank is pushing, the left flank is pushing, and the centre is non-existent. Wonderful. Seems the centre and the left flank have kind of melted into one, but that's alright. As long as we can create a hole through the enemy lines, then we can push as many forces as we need to push through it. Artillery is doing a lovely, lovely work of softening up the enemy. Only problem with these trenches is when the artillery lands inside the trenches. By design of the trenches, the forces outside of it are actually okay. And like trenches in World War I were specifically made in this way to stop shrapnel from artillery pieces and the concussion wave travelling like a few hundred meters down the line. So we are walking forward our IDF with our troop movements. Let's see if the artillery can carry on smashing away at their lines and helping us to push forward. That was a direct hit on target. And so was that. Wonderful. Good job, artillery. You are pounding away their lines absolutely perfectly. Let's try and see if we can get rid of these lot as well. Then we actually have a gap that we can push through on. I think they actually just hit... Yep, they're hitting their own lines. GG. Good job. I don't mind that. That's absolutely fine by me. See if we can't move our artillery even further forward to actually try and hit their artillery itself. Because if we can hit their artillery and then bring in another wave of infantry, we might very, very well be able to actually take these lines. Oh, perfect hit. Good job, gents. Right, gentlemen, please target their artillery. Let's get rid of their IDF. If we get rid of their IDF, we can push our infantry forward without a single issue. Right, once again, let's seize the initiative. So, ladies and gents, while we have actually managed to push right next to the enemy lines, it's come a bit of a stalemate now, which is kind of the fashion in World War One, where the Germans can't really push forward, and I can't really push forward. So we're pretty much just chucking artillery at each other for the hell of it. Every time I try and push forward, they smack me with their artillery, so I lose more men, and every time they push forward, I smack them with my artillery and they lose all their men. So we're pretty much at a stalemate. However, we have gained all of this ground. So I'm pretty happy with probably nearly a mile's worth of ground that we have actually gained. So whilst this artillery continues to pound away at the German lines, I think I've nearly removed all of their... I have actually entirely removed their capability for offensive artillery strikes. Perfect. Now I can go to work on their infantry. So, ladies and gents, with the artillery going and the distant explosions, I think this is a perfect time to call it the end. As always, thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for your support, and I will see you on the battlefield.